of the independent government of the DRC. It's not in our practice. It's not in our policy. Therefore, should there be need to cross over and pursue the ADF, we will first and foremost seek authorization from the DRC government. But also, we also reserve the right under the United Nations Chapter 51 to exercise hot pursuit in self-defense. But I can tell you now, that is not one of the options. We are seriously taking this new occurrence on our western borders, and we will be responding appropriately. We are sharing intelligence with our counterparts in DRC, the FARDC, with a view to making sure that they take action where possible.
In response to the recent blood shortage in the country, members of parliament have this morning carried out a voluntary blood donation campaign to collect blood for the Uganda Blood Transfusion Service. In May this year, several people are reported to have died after the country experienced a blood shortage when the blood bank ran out of reagents and kits needed to test the blood. So although government has since contained the situation, the blood bank emphasizes the need to build up stocks through regular blood donations.
Because I belong to the community. Am I comfortable? You don't look comfortable. You feel comfortable. I'm taking years without giving blood. I'm here to let me finish up the small exercise of donating blood. Even you can join me.
We lose very many people for lack of blood because they have bled a lot. The majority are women giving birth, and hemorrhage, loss of blood, is one cause that kills most of them.
As leaders, I think we should lead by example. We should set examples to our community that they don't buy blood. The only solution to finding blood is to ask all of them to donate blood, because it's the only way to help the lives of others.
Anytime any of us can be in the hospital and you may need blood, so it's good for us to be prepared. And I call upon all the leaders to come and do the same.
Blood is not a drug you can buy or import. It is the people who should provide it. Today they could be somebody, tomorrow I could be the one. And that's what we're doing.
Leading by example, the African Development Bank has approved a line of credit worth 280 billion shillings for the construction of a new 134-kilometer road. This links the oil corridors of southwestern Uganda. Dr. Jason Mochache, the country head of ADB, or the African Development Bank, he says that the money will help actualize Uganda's vision of 2040 by supporting improvement in activities around trade and commerce with the rest of the country.
Support to the Road Sector 4 project, which is supporting to Hoima, to Masindi, and this one, the oil sector region. This is about 120 kilometers of road, where at the moment you need to link the Guru road to the rest of the Hoima road. The idea is that the oil region has to be better interlinked by well-developed road system than what we have. That will also support the tourism sector, because many people cannot reach Murchison Falls.
From Chugumba, you go to Masindi. From Masindi, you go to Kisalizi, Hoima, Kizaramfumbi, towards Kagadi and Chenjojo. We shall do about 134 kilometers using ADB financing. That is a great area because it is agriculture. At the same time, it is an oil production area. So we expect that road to facilitate economic growth in the region.
Now, the economic growth that has been posted by countries like Uganda faces a challenge of sustainability because the new businesses appear that drive part of this growth employ few people with low productivity. That's according to the Deputy Central Bank Governor, Loui Kasekende. The labor productivity from these firms remains low, and thus their impact on economic growth.
Agricultural labor has dropped from over 80% to about 70% of the total workforce in Uganda, according to the Deputy Central Bank Governor, in the last 10 years. This has given birth to other dynamics.
The growth has been propelled by a shift of labor out of agriculture, mainly into services and construction. However, the majority of new jobs created in sub-Saharan Africa in the non-agricultural sector are either informal or semi-formal jobs in small and micro enterprises.
So people are leaving agriculture but moving to small and micro companies, which has helped growth but challenges sustainability.
Farms are usually too small to adopt new technology. They face problems of access to capital, and even face the whole challenge of survival.
Therefore, the need for policy to help larger farms that employ more people be established, while encouraging growth of smaller ones to medium size.
Thank you, sir. Now we're going to take a short break. Ntv at One will be back with more news, including international sports and international news.
From the bottom of my heart, I want to wish the bride and groom the very best. I have a video for all of you to see, but I have no screen to show it to you. So pull out your tablets and phones, check out my YouTube channel, watch the video.
Airtel and Worry merging. Now, 7.2 million friends can enjoy the widest and the most affordable internet network across Uganda. Go ahead, surf, upload, download, watch movies and more. Let the celebrations begin.
About 100 yards away, I saw people by the side falling.
The 20th anniversary of the coronation of the Kabaka of Buganda.
Dr. Milton Obote attacked the palace of the Kabaka using Commander Amin.
The story of Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II.
So initially we thought he would return, restore monarchy, but he didn't.
This Friday on NTV Kusawemu and NTV Weekend Edition, only on NTV, in partnership with CBS.
On the next episode of Mali,
with Banking Kabosi changes with Orange. Today changes with Orange.
What do you want?
Will that be murder?
Do you have what it takes to go after my ex-husband?
Absolutely. Very good. I'm impressed. I don't think you'll need me for the orientation. So I'll leave you two to carry on.
Take cabbage, no siweke viazi.
Lakini mama, unajua tusipoweka viazi, hiyo nini stew haitakuwa mzito. Viazi ndio inafanyanga stew inakuwa mzito.
Unapika vile nataka ama vile unataka.
Get more on net minutes than on any other network while using Uganda's clearest signal. Dial *134*1# to subscribe. Banking Kabosi changes with Orange. Today changes with Orange.
Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. This is NTV at One. Now, the High Court in Kampala has dismissed Kampala Lord Mayor Arias Lukwago's application on the activities of the tribunal investigating him. Lukwago challenged the legality of the tribunal in the High Court. He said the basis on which the tribunal was formed was incorrect inciting the Attorney General Peter Nyombi's advice in a letter to the effect that there are not enough grounds to kick him out of office. Lukwago will now have to appear before the tribunal and defend himself or risk a decision being taken without his defense. We're moving on. It's been 6 years now since NTV happened to Uganda, and since then the station has continued to grow in leaps and bounds, both in viewership and coverage around Uganda. And now yet another milestone. When Emma Chiberu clicked the like icon on her Facebook fan page, it was NTV Uganda's 100th like, making the station the second most liked entity, only after MTN Uganda.
Not only made us the #1 TV station in Uganda, we are now the most appreciated on social media. Brand NTV Uganda recently upped its social media campaign, constantly updating its pages both on Twitter and Facebook, as well as interacting with viewers. The result has now been birthed, and the only way henceforth can only be up.
All we did is we fine-tuned and getting NTV to start interacting with the fans. As much as we have just started, we're still a long way to go, and the idea is maybe to meet next time when we are on 500,000 fans.
At a personal level, the staff here also take this medium of communication seriously, with it now being one of the fastest modes to break real-time news. This has in many ways contributed to the feat the station has achieved.
It is a milestone. There is no many pages in Uganda that have 100,000 likes, not in a natural way, not a media house, and that's the way to go, the way to interact with fans, and from management to anchors to reporters.
It is not every day that a business gets this much love on social media. 100,000 likes NTV Uganda has got on its fan page on Facebook. Over 50,000 followers on Twitter, unlike any entity in Uganda. Here at NTV, we are gratified about this development, and the management cannot hide their joy.
Our closest person in media broadcast is sitting at 60,000.
NTV Uganda Managing Director Agia Simwe Konde is very familiar with the world of marketing. She says this achievement should not only be celebrated, but exploited as well by the market.
For us at NTV, this is, a very big milestone to celebrate. Again, our viewers are yet again endorsing the brand NTV, and I think that goes a long way to, to give us kudos in terms of what we do as a station, and most importantly, what we believe in.
Well, achievement calls for celebration, doesn't it?
Most importantly, we believe that for every achievement, there must be a celebration. So we would like to spoil our fans, and we'll be inviting them to a boat cruise very soon. Our teams are putting the final touches to it, but we urge you to go on your Facebook page and get all the updates on how you can be a part of this.
At the end of the day, we also took the time to fish out the young man behind the 100,000th like. Emma Chiberu was attending a lecture, and when he saw a message from the station, he initially did not take it seriously.
I was in class, I wasn't really paying attention. So I'm like, scratch this. And then later on they call me and they say, you're the 100,000th fan and want to recognize you in a special way. Come to NTV. So I'm like, who's this? Because there are very many pranksters these days.
I then tell him about the treat being lined up for him and other fans alike.
The boat cruise, first of all, alone is a very big thing because we rarely get such chances to go on a boat cruise. And topping that up, I'm doing it with the NTV family, the staff. I'm going to get to interact with you on for a longer period of time, which is good. I'm going to interact with other NTV people.
At the end of the day, we owe it all to the fans of this station and all those whose support it has enjoyed over the years. Like we always say, you make NTV what it is. So here is to you, Gabriel Apenu, NTV.
Thank you, Gabriel. You can go on, hit the like icon, even up to now, for us to make it 500,000. Okay, now moving on to international news. The U.S. urges Egypt's leadership to stop the arbitrary arrests of Muslim Brotherhood members as supporters and opponents of ousted Egyptian Islamist President Mohamed Morsi prepare to stage large rallies in Cairo. Elsewhere, tens of thousands of workers across Brazil have walked off their jobs and taken to the streets in a nationwide strike, demanding better working conditions.
Egypt is braced for rival rallies between supporters and opponents of deposed President Mohamed Morsi
Factions on both sides have called for a day of demonstrations after prayers on the first Friday of the holy month of Ramadan as tensions within the country continue to escalate. The Muslim Brotherhood, Morsi's power base, has vowed to keep protesting until he is reinstated, despite the fact that much of the group's leadership has been detained by the army. Meanwhile, the US has urged Egypt's leadership to stop the arbitrary arrests of Muslim Brotherhood members, warning against targeting any particular group. And elsewhere, tens of thousands of workers across Brazil have walked off their jobs and taken to the streets in a nationwide strike, demanding better working conditions and improved public services in Latin America's biggest nation. Metal workers, transportation and construction workers, and civil servants adhered to the days of struggle organized by the country's 5 leading labor federations. Teachers at public and private schools also went on strike and closed schools in several cities, while some hospitals were operating with skeleton crews. Strikers either partially or completely blocked 40 interstate and intercity highways in 14 states. On to sports now. Former national football captain Ibrahim Sekaja has joined New York Red Bulls from sister club Red Bull Salzburg on a 2.5-year deal. And elsewhere, debutant Ashton Agar made the highest score by number 11 without a majestic knock at 98 in the first test of the Ashes. These stories and more in our international sports news. 2 African footballers completed £12 million moves to English Premier League clubs. Ivorian forward Wilfred Bony sealed the £12 million move from Betis to Swansea City. Swansea boss Michael Laudrup hopes Bony will ease some of the goal-scoring burden on Michu. Elsewhere, Kenyan midfielder Victor Wanyama signed on the dotted line for Southampton in a deal believed to be £12.5 million. Wanyama, who Celtic bought £900,000 from Belgian side BS Shot 2 years ago, had initially rebuffed the chance to move to St Mary's. Speculated approaches also from other Premier League sides never materialized for the 22-year-old Kenyan. To New York, where former Cranes captain Ibrahim Sekaja completed a free transfer from Red Bull Salzburg to New York Red Bulls. Sekaja, who has been training with the Red Bulls since June 26th, has agreed a 2.5-year contract with the New York outfit. He will now rub shoulders with former Arsenal keeper Thierry Henry. On to cricket now. 19-year-old Ashton Agar played an incredible Ashes innings in his debut for Australia with a remarkable 98 from 101 balls. Agar shared a heroic 163-run last wicket stand with Philip Hughes to give Australia a 65-run first innings lead. England ended the day on 80-2, a lead of 15 runs. From Trent Bridge now to the Tour de France, Chris Froome maintained his overall race lead of 3 minutes 25 seconds over Alejandro Valverde. Froome strengthened his grip on the yellow jersey, but the fragility of his position was reinforced by a crash in the closing kilometers. Friday's 13th stage is expected to end in a bunch sprint at the end of a 173-kilometer race from Tours to Saint-Amand-Moltrand. That's sports for now, and that closes Ntv at One newscast. From all the Ntv team, have a great weekend and enjoy your Friday afternoon.